It looks like I was on mute. I thought I unmuted myself, but I did not. So let's try this one more time. Hey, everybody. It's 5 p.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central time. Yes, sirree. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. And thank goodness we have people in the Statterbox crew looking out for me, looking out for you. Looks like we've got Michael Anthony Smith in the house. I'm so happy you're here today. I know that today's been a rough day for you, but hopefully hanging out here with Shock and Rick will help lighten that mood a little bit. Or hopefully just watching me go babble, babble, babble with my microphone off, hopefully that'll already have gotten you giggling, right? I mean, come on. All right, we've got Andre in the house as well. Excelente. Darlene is here, and we've got the gear. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but what do you know? All right, I think that it might be time to get this party started. Alrighty, let's see here. It looks like maybe I will turn down the music a smidge or smidge. All right, there we go. I've turned down the music just a little bit. Oops, hold on. I just got a phone call there from potential spam, so definitely not going to be answering that. Hey, eMusic, good to see you. And Darlene, yes, I love my Hunu necklace as well. It is a K-Man creation, and I try to wear it almost every day. And I will admit, the days that I do leave the house without it on, I feel almost as naked as if I don't have my cell phone. Like, that's how much of a part of my gear that this necklace, this pendant has become. All right, so we have got a couple things that we're going to be showing off today because actually, first I've got a little story to tell. So, a few streams ago mentioned that my computer was cranky and didn't have enough of the RAMs, etc., etc. And so I went and I ordered some RAM. And actually, even ordering the RAM was kind of a hassle because, like, you can't just be like, oh, I'll grab that one. Because, like, you know, you have to make sure it's compatible and blah, 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 blah. And so I did all the research to find the compatible stuff. Then I had to figure out, like, whether or not I was getting the good stuff. Anyway, I got the good stuff. So it came in the mail a lot faster than I wanted it to. So then I was just like, shoot, dude, I have the stuff. I really need to not put this project off. So last night I unplugged my computer from all of the wires, which is just a hassle. And you know, frankly, I was kind of surprised. I was so stuffed up from all the dust that I was wondering if I was even going to be able to have a show today, because I was wondering if my face was going to be swollen up from allergies, etc. And so, hey, Kenny from the Cove, good to see you. I am regaling all y'all with tales of computer stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Picola T, good to see you. Shock, vacuum first. I hate vacuuming. I really hate vacuuming. So it's anything, no. I mean, okay, good plan, but no, I didn't do that. So anyway, took my, computer, all the wires off, and I figured out how to take the side panel off. I thought I was going to have to, like, screw and unscrew. And hey, Ann, we're good to see you. Oh my goodness gracious, we have got the crew in tonight. Okay, so this is totally a case where I expect to see a lot of the, let's see here, what is it? The haha emotes. Because let me tell you what I ended up doing. All right, so I managed to figure out how to take the side thing off. But then, like, all of the videos that I'd seen of how to do the RAMs, they made it seem really easy, and they made it seem really obvious. And you just basically, like, stick them in the slot and you're good to go. So I open the thing up and I'm like, I can't find any of the things. But then, like, underneath this thing back in the corner, I'm like, I think those might be the slots, but how do I, get to them? Because it's under like this whole other piece. Well, I figured out how to remove the other piece, right? So I'm super stoked. Oh, Andre, thank you so much for the gift subs to Michael Anthony Smith and Kenny from the Cove. Did I say thank you for those bits? Because if I didn't, I meant to. But I'm just so annoyed and happy with myself at this particular problem. So I'm taking the top layer off of whatever. I don't even know what I was taking off. So I could get to the rams. Well, as I pulled this metal thing that I was taking off, I heard like a pop and like clearly something came unplugged. And I didn't know what it was and I didn't know where it needed to be plugged in. And so, I eventually figured out, I think this is what became unplugged. I was like, but I don't really know where it goes, so I'm just going to leave it alone for a while. So ended up putting the rams in just fine, right? Put everything back together and I try to start up my thing. And as it turns out, what that pop was me disconnecting my entire hard drive from everything. And so, yeah, after many hours of like, what does this error message mean and how do you fix it? I realized it really actually, there was nothing in the online tutorials on how to fix it because it literally was a case of I needed to go stick the thing in the thing. But I did. We now have a computer, because if we didn't have a computer, we wouldn't be here today. And I managed to create 2 videos last night with the Fancy Pants Ram. And so they're not good videos, but you're going to see probably both of them eventually one day on this stream, maybe even today. So, as Andre said, that is right. I tackled the Ram and I did a darn good job. So, Shuck, kind of hard to look it up on the interwebs when your hard drive is disconnected. Yes, which is why I was very thankful for my cell phone, because my cell phone was without, I don't even want to think about the disaster. Well, I would be in tears if I didn't have my cell phone to do what I did, because yeah. But I have to say though, getting offline, like unplugging the computer so I could work on the computer, was a little bit stress inducing, because like that's kind of like my lifeline, and then I'm having to undo it, and then I'm taking the computer literally apart. It was a little bit stressful, I have to say, but I did it, so I'm pretty stoked. So I'm bragging about this on the Facebooks earlier today, and Mitchie Mama was wondering on that thread, and I don't have an answer, but I'm hoping you guys might. So I told her, I was like, let's bring this up on the chat topic. So Mitchie Mama wants to know, and I guess I want to know too, because actually I have one as well. Mitchie Mama has 3 old computers, like towers, PCs. I have one, and she's afraid to get rid of them because all of her personal information's on there and everything, and she's been told, like, you're supposed to strip something from something, but she doesn't really know what. And so, that's, I guess, my question too, is like, so when you're getting rid of your computer, what do you need to erase? I guess is what I'm wondering. And so Shock is saying Derek's boot and nuke is your friend. And Andre, you're supposed to wipe the hard drive, right? But I don't know what, like, how do you do that? And so, yeah, Picola T, that's exactly it. It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And so, and Rick is saying probably a boatload of YouTube videos to show how to disable memory in an old PC. Yeah, I guess that's a good point, but I want to look up this Derek's nuke and boot, because if I can just, like, You put Derek's on a CD. You put Derek's on a CD and boot from it. Can also put it on a stick. All right. Well, now I'm so very confused. What is a Derek? What is a Derek? Wait, what? All right. So what is a Derek? I don't understand. Is it like a computer program? Okay. Well, okay, so it's dband.org. Okay, I'll look into this, and hopefully Mitchie Mama and I can figure out how to figure it out. So Derek is a guy. Okay. It's the name of the app, says Anne. Okay, and Anne's throwing down that thing too. So Kenny's saying when it came time. Okay, well, okay, so this is obviously not something I can do, but Kenny says when it came time to get rid of my old computers, I took them to the welding shop at work and melted them down into molten blobs with a big old torch. Okay, well, I can appreciate that logic, but that's not something I think everybody can do. So if I have a drill press, you can drill the hard drive. No, I don't. But Andre did say that you could remove the hard drive, but still, though, the hard drive itself still has the info. So if I and you don't want to throw the hard drive in the recycle bin or right? Like, just removing the hard drive still leaves you with the info on the hard drive. So yeah, okay. Okay, well, all right. So Mitchie Mama, I'll look into this for Mitchie Mama and myself, because this D-band Derek guy might just be right. Might be right up our alley. The degausser from hell. Oh, okay. So Shaka's saying, or you can use the degausser from hell. What? I think you already know what I'm gonna say. I don't know what a degausser or whatever it was. I don't know what that is. A degausser. I don't know what a degausser? Degausser. I don't even know how to say it, let alone. Yeah, okay, so Picola T. Now, Picola T is talking about something that I absolutely could probably handle. There might be some dishwasher rats who could chew up my hard drive pretty well. You might be onto something there, my friend. That might be, it's the rat jaws. The rat jaws that get rid of it. And with the low carbon footprint, right? I mean, it's totally natural. It's absolutely more than sustainable. Okay. So, let's see here. Oh, so Shaka's saying a degausser is like a powerful electromagnet that scrambles all your magnetic bits. Andre is coming in with a similar thing. Hard drive is magnetic, and if you demagnetize it, you destroy the data. This assumes that you're not using an SSD. And your hard drives, Kenny says, your hard drives look like something from a Terminator movie. Yeah, I bet. Absolutely. So let's see here. Rick, yeah, if they were savvy, the rats would just sell off the data instead of chewing it. That's for sure. But hey, hold on. So, Shock, this assumes you're not using an SSD. Now, that is correct. I am actually not in any of my computers, actually. But, it looks like in my computer, I've got plugins for an SSD. And so I was wondering, as I had my computer open and I was disconnecting hard drives while installing RAMs and generally not knowing what the heck I was doing, I did notice the little SSD clips, prongs, plugs, wires, whatever. And I was wondering, so can I install an SSD in my computer since I've got the things? And what? Like, what? So, Andre, SSD, a hammer will kill it easier than an old school magnetic hard drive. Yeah, I don't have one of those yet. You can install an SSD, but getting it to replace your boot partition could be fun. I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna say no, I'm not going to install an SSD. I installed some RAMs and I was feeling a little bit cocky, and I was looking at the SSD things thinking, well, what if I just plug and play? Now I should have known better, but I was thinking, well, gosh, now that I know how to open up my machine, maybe I can trick her out, right? And and so and you, that look of what? Yeah, that's exactly, yeah, that's what tech does to me. It makes me go, what? So and let's see here, and we haven't even addressed UEFI BIOS legacy boot. UEFI Kenny, don't you just wish Chalk lived on my street? Yeah, I kind of, in a way, do. Luckily, though, luckily, I have a pretty direct link to her on the Discord server, but I only have my Discord server on my computer. So once the computer was taken apart, there was no contacting Chalk via the Discord server. And I am learning. Yesterday was a huge day of major learning. First off, I had the trickiest time okay, even before I tackled the RAM situation, I had to make a recording and convert the MP4 to an MP3. And you think that sounds like the easiest thing in the world to do. Yeah, no, it literally, multiple tries, and then one tutorial later, I realized what I was doing wrong. But yeah, just converting an MP4 to an MP3 was tricky for me last night. So after the MP4 to 3 fiasco, I was like, do I even want to tackle the RAM? But I knew I needed to, and I'm very glad that I did, because I was able to edit some things that, so I was able to edit some things and not crash my system. And so I was able even to learn how to do some editing things and not crash my system. So I'm pretty stoked on that. In fact, since I'm bragging about my brags, this is the thing that I did last night. First off, this is not for public consumption, which is why I'm showing it on the internet. But this is not a video that I'm gonna put on YouTube as its own separate thing. But this is quite literally me learning how to do different fades and different transitions, and learning how to strip audio and add audio. Basically, some of the most basic things on the software that I was too scared to learn how to use a few months ago. I learned how to use a little bit of it last night, and I made a thing, and it's not very good, but I made a thing, and so we're gonna watch the thing. So here's the thing. All right, so that was my big creation, and I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed it. I have to say, the fall colors in that video really were poppin', and that video, I believe, was taken not with my old hanging from the rear view mirror, but I think I had the interior mount at that point, and so I believe it was one of my first videos with that interior mount. And luckily on that Tuesday mid-morning, the weather was gorgeous, the colors were popping, the leaves hadn't fallen yet, and there really wasn't that much traffic. So I felt like I was kind of blessed, and I almost had to go make a video. And so super stoked that you guys, like I said, enjoyed it, and thank you so much for putting up with some janky little edits. And obviously this is not like a high class production. Like I said, literally that's the very first video I've ever made without crashing my computer, using that particular video editing software. So quite literally, you are now seeing the toe being tipped into a brand new pool. And this stream is all about sharing the things that we're all learning how to do and probably doing poorly. So I'm really happy that you guys are willing to put up with things that are less than perfect, but hey, very rarely are we going to be perfect. And Michael Anthony Smith, I'm so happy that you thought that this was a great video, a good video, excuse me. I really, 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 like I said, I really like the colors in it. I guess I'm a little partial. I do believe that, the fall trees with all of the bright colors and the leaves are maybe, I don't know, it's like the prettiest time of year when it's all sunny and the leaves are all orange and red and green. How can you beat that, right? So, so there we go. And Andre, you love the moving statue in front of the art museum. Yeah, there's a hammering man statue that I probably should have slowed down a little bit in the video. You might not have noticed it, but it's a huge, I would say the statue is probably 2.5 stories tall. I mean, it's big. And it's a moving statue of a hammering man. And it's it's pretty awesome little statue. And let's see here. Let's see, Michi Mama, I'm glad you loved that video. Excellent. And let's see here. So I'm not sure what you guys are talking about in regards to telecommunications, but my best guess is it has something to do with Michi Mama needing to fiddle with the gear, but not being able to. So let's see here. Michi Mama, tall enough for a wave to go over? No, not the kind of waves that we get in the Seattle area, but I guess if that statue had been on Hawaii Island this past weekend, probably tall enough for a wave to actually still go over. To tell you the truth, it's sort of it's not like a 3-dimensional statue. It's kind of a 2-dimensional statue in this sense. And so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that wave that went over the building, I'm sure you guys by now have seen it on social media, the huge wave that literally went over a 2-story building on Hawaii Island. I'd be willing to bet that a wave that strong could probably knock that statue down. That's all I'm trying to say. And so, Darlene, yes, you love the fall, especially up north with all the different types of trees and views. It's a gorgeous time of year. Absolutely. And Cindy Krause, yes, you lost track of the day and didn't realize it was Wednesday. So glad that Shock clued you in, and good to see you. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, cool. So, all right. So, I had something I was going to do. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Okay, so as promised, not really promised, but as as we're often wont to do on Wednesdays, we're going to talk a little bit about whales, just a little bit. This isn't necessarily a huge topic of conversation, I think, today, but I want to talk about two different things. First off, I want to talk about this organization that I think is called Project Oceans or something, and they're selling sponsorship of whales, and you can like track the whale or whatever that you sponsored. Well, I think that they've only got one whale that you're sponsoring, and it's supposed to be an orca, and this is the whale tracking. If you go to the link to track the whale, this has been his course since they've tracked him, and I'll be the first to admit I don't know enough to know what I'm talking about. I'll be the second to admit that there's a whole lot we don't know about orcas. And this could be the open ocean type of orca that we really don't know a lot about. But I can also tell you that, like, with the little bit that I know about orcas, I'm kind of suspect. I think this is kind of suspicious. I honestly, I don't know if I believe that this is really a tracked whale. Like, I don't know. And Andre, right? How did they tag it? They've got this little story where like they captured it and blah blah blah. Like, the more, if you go to their website, it gives this little story. He got too close to a fishing line. We trapped it. He was confused. He got separated from his family. We kept him for a couple weeks to get him strong again, and then we released him. Now he's wandering the oceans, is basically what their story is. And there are so many levels of, well, now wait a second, huh? Wait a second, what? Well, now who trapped him? Because, like, this is an ocean cleanup project and I'm not saying that they are, that they aren't doing a good thing for the earth, cleaning up plastics, etc. I just am wondering, like, if they're using the, I don't know. All I know is I don't think that that company would have the resources to trap a whale, let alone hold it in a captivity, an open water pen for 2 weeks. And if they did, they would have to be doing it in conjunction with some kind of researcher or college or whatever. And the protocol of separating the orca from his family and then just like releasing him back, I don't know. It goes counter to what I know of the orca community, the whale community, and I've shown videos about orcas and a lost northern resident orca that accidentally wandered into southern resident waters, and the amount of work between tribes and states and countries to trap it, to pen it, to care for it, to reunite it with was a massive endeavor. And I just feel like this random charity organization that says they're cleaning up the ocean doesn't have the resources on their own to trap this killer whale. So who actually were they working in conjunction with? And what kind of, the story just seems kind of unethical. I don't know. I'm just being very, very cynical. Either way, I do think, I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because this is flippin' awesome. Like, if this really is true and they're tracking these, what I can only presume to be the open ocean orcas that we know very little about, this type of thing is a huge research bonanza, or, data bonanza. So I'm super stoked. If this is true, I am super stoked. But as Kenny said, the story just sounds a little fishy to me. And the reason why I'm on, yeah, that's right, I'm on a soapbox. The reason why I'm on a soapbox about it is because I actually contacted them. and I had very specific questions that I wanted answered, and they responded with a link to the page on their website that's all about Marco, which is great. That was the page that all of my questions came from. Like, the story that you give about Marco is what resulted in all of my questions. And so you're answering my questions by just referring me back to the page to begin with. You're not giving me any real answers. You're not giving me any answer at all, in fact. And so I feel like I just feel like this is their story, and this is their story, and they're sticking to it. But I don't know. I don't have proof of this. That being said, I think we both know. I think we all know. I'm going to contact them again and ask it again and whatever. And so, Andre, so they can tag orcas, but they seem to be the resident ones, though. Exactly. That's the whole thing. And so, this is clearly not a resident. And so I have a lot, like, I want to know, where was it captured? You know, I have a lot of questions, actually. And Kenny, exactly. No answer is in itself an answer. Exactly. Which is why I'm getting on the soapbox. Cause it's like, had this stream happened 24 hours ago when I hadn't gotten the response from them, it would be a very different stream. But I did get the response from them today, and it was like, oh, you have got to be kidding me. So, oh, you have got to be kidding me is the attitude in which I am coming in on this little rant. And let's see here. Satellite tags, which have been used on seal-eating transient killer whales, usually stay on for about 30 days, but sometimes they stay on for much longer. J26 was tagged last year, adult male, but the tag wasn't sealed properly, fell off after 3 days. Oops. Yeah, and the transients, despite their name, are actually somewhat resident as well. And the transient would not have a route like that. I mean, the only kind of orcas that would have a route like that are the open ocean ones that we don't know a lot about. So if this is really an open ocean one that's got tagged, and the tag has stayed on for so long, by the way, I'm making note of this. I want to see how long they're claiming that tag has stayed on that whale. Because I feel like that tag has been on longer than 30 days. So I want to look into that as well, because they tell you when the last, all these little red dots are where when his location was transmitted. And I think you can actually, not on this picture, but on the website, you can actually click on it and it'll tell you, June 14th or whatever. So there you go. So, Rick, watch out for orcas and sharks in the ocean, and really watch out for orcas being pushed by sharks on the internet. Well, orcas are one of the only things that sharks are afraid of, because orcas can actually get a little bit, orcas can take down a great white. So there you go. And orcas, by the way, as I think we know, orcas are not whales. They are dolphins. And for some reason, I can never remember if they're dolphins or porpoises. So I'm going to say that they're dolphins, but I might be lying. They might be porpoises. And I've often wondered, what in the flying fork is the difference between a dolphin and a porpoise? And, my friends, this is what we're going to learn today on Chatter with Statter. We're actually going to learn things and stuff. So, what's the difference between a porpoise and a dolphin and a porpoise? Let's find out.
They also differ in their behavior. In general, depending on the species of course, porpoises live in smaller groups and are more shy and elusive. Blink and you may miss them. Dolphins, on the other hand, are in the...
Okay, so I'm going to say goodnight to Michael Anthony Smith, and then we're going to start that porpoise versus dolphin again, because I guess, it's good to hear stuff. So, oops. Hold on one sec. Let's start that over, and have yourself a good night, Michael Anthony Smith.
One of our most commonly asked questions is, what is the difference between a dolphin and a porpoise? The terms used to be used interchangeably in the past, and while both are cetaceans, which include whales, dolphins, and porpoises, they actually are in different taxonomic families. Let's go over how to tell them apart. Porpoises are in the family Phocinidae. There are 6 different species, and in general, porpoises are smaller, but have a more robust body than dolphins, and prefer colder waters. The example species I will use today is the harbor porpoise. There are a few key features to tell the difference between a porpoise and a dolphin. First, let's look at the most commonly seen part of the animal. Porpoises have a small triangular-shaped dorsal fin. Next, porpoises have a round, blunt mouth with no pronounced beak or rostrum. And if you ever get to look inside their mouth, you will find spade-shaped teeth. They also differ in their behavior. In general, depending on the species of course, porpoises live in smaller groups and are more shy and elusive. Blink and you may miss them. Dolphins, on the other hand, are in the family Delphinidae. With 33 species, there is a little more variation within this family compared to porpoises. But for most species, the key differences hold true. The example species I will use today is the well-known bottlenose dolphin. In general, dolphin species are larger than porpoises, but with a more streamlined body shape. Now we will revisit those features. The dolphin's dorsal fin is more curved or falcate in appearance. In most species, their head has an elongated beak or rostrum. Here is where some species vary, as some dolphins, for example, the largest dolphin species, the orca, or killer whale, has a more blunt mouth. Inside their mouth, you will find cone-shaped teeth. Dolphins are much more likely to be seen being acrobatic out of water, riding the bows and wakes of boats and breaching, for example. In general, depending on the species of course, they are more gregarious, living in larger groups than porpoises. So now you know the difference between a dolphin and a porpoise, so next time you are out on the water, look for those dorsal fins. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more, and check out our website for more information.
All right, so let me make sure I'm not muted. It looks like I might not be. Fantastic. And exactly, Mitchie Mama, now you know the difference between dolphins and porpoises. So there you have it. Don't say you never learned anything. And let's see here. Rizzo dolphins have more blunt noses than bottlenose. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Some of the dolphins, like the orca, are a little bit more blunt as well. So I can only assume that the tooth and dorsal fin combo is where they decided, all right, I guess you're a dolphin, not a porpoise. But quite honestly, I have no idea because I'm not a scientist. And so, let's see here. Picola T, just as important was Andy's explanation of differences between dolphins and sharks. Yeah, honestly, I had never thought about the zigzag versus the bob. And I suppose if I were more confident as a swimmer in the water, I might pay attention to that. But honestly, if I see a fin, I'm probably getting to the shore. And then I will assess the bobbing versus the zigzag. But maybe that's just me. I'm not one who's going to go surfing when there's sharks out in the water, like one of Andy's friends or whatever. So there you have, he punched the dolphin, or not the dolphin, the shark or something. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. And Darlene, fantastic. I'm glad you guys put up with a little bit of edumacation today. So that was our little Whale Talk Wednesday. I got into a soapbox of are you sure? But then finished it off with, here's some knowledge. Let's learn something. And speaking of knowledge, let's learn something. All right, so last week or last Sunday, we were talking about Dave's Killer Bread and whether or not Dave's Killer Bread is keto or not. Now, I have no idea if it's keto or not, but I did do a little bit of a dive, and I did some research, and I've put together a little bit of a presentation about Dave's Killer Bread. Now, if you're not familiar with Dave's Killer Bread, it was a bread company started by a dude who spent about 15 years in prison for various and assorted charges, or various and assorted stints, I think combined total 15 years. But he came from a family of bakers. And so when he got out, he decided, need to get my life together, blah, blah, blah. So he started a bakery, and he's very much involved in second chance employment. So what I want to do right now is, Shaq, were any of those charges killing? I don't know. My best guess is not, but I don't actually know what he went into prison for. And so Andre, you saw Dave's Killer Bread commercial on Facebook. Yeah. After we talked about it, not at all surprised. You know, they're listening, So anyway, what I want to do right now is show you a video about Dave's Killer Bread, and then I'm going to show you when I went down a deep dive in regard to whether or not Dave's Killer Bread is keto or not. I'm not going to make that judgment. You guys can make the judgment, but I did find out some interesting things. So first, let's just watch Dave's Killer Bread commercial, whatever. You'll just watch this. Thought I was muted. Yeah, thanks, Shock. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. I mute myself in too many places, then I forget where I muted them. So yes, that's much success to any business who gives an ex-con another chance. Exactly, Michi Mama. And Dave's Killer Bread started out in Oregon, but I believe it is available nationwide these days. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is available completely nationwide, but I think it might be. And so, let's see here. Kenny, how popular would this bread be if it was Killer Be Dave's bread instead of Dave's Killer Bread? Killer Be Dave's bread? Yeah, I don't know. I think Dave's Killer Bread is definitely gonna be the the double entendre we're looking for here. But all right, so All right, so did a little research, and okay, we had a little bit of a debate, confusion. Can Dave's be keto friendly? Is it or isn't it? Well, Dave's has a lot of varieties of flavors, and some of the varieties are very much not keto friendly. You know, we're talking like 30, 40 grams of carbs per slice. However, there are some of the varieties that he makes, the thin sliced or the light bread. And honestly, I don't know if the light bread is different than the thin sliced, given the nutritional breakdown. I'm assuming it is. I don't know if I've ever seen the light bread. I usually only see the thin sliced. But I've noticed that on this particular thing, this little, let's see, where did I get it? It was Keto Foodist or something. Keto Food List or whatever was where I got this breakdown of how the ketos do their little mathises. And so the Good Seed light bread has net carbs of 10 grams. And then the thin sliced organic Good Seed also has net carb 10 grams. Now, whether or not the 10 grams is keto or not, different story entirely. But for those people who are trying to lower their carbs, but maybe not necessarily be all keto-ish, 10 net carbs, not bad. But it does get better. We've got the Power Seed bread, which has 8 grams of carbs, and then the organic Power Seed has 7 grams of carb. So once again, like I said, keto, maybe not. But for folks who are trying to lower their carb intake, net grams of 7 carbs, probably not that bad. And is the bread yummy? That is the question. Honestly, I love it. Let's see here. Rick, they don't show the fiber. They do show the fiber if, okay, so what we're looking at here on this particular screen is a bunch of screenshots that I took and put them all on one visual thing. But on the website that I got this from, if you click on the View More Nutritional Information button, it would take you to where they give you all of the nutritional breakdown, including the fiber. But yeah, this particular graphic doesn't. But it's like Keto Foodist, I think is what it is, not Food List, Foodist. KetoFoodist.com, I think, is where I got this info. And like I said, they're all saying it's keto friendly, etc. I'm not necessarily saying that it is keto friendly, but as Kenny just said, 7 net carbs, I'd roll the dice on that. Exactly. For people who are trying to lower their carb intake and like just miss the flippin' flirpin' slice of toast every once in a while with some, a nice poached egg or whatever, 7 net carbs might not be that bad. And then the last one that was somewhat okay was the 21 grains light, and then the organic 21 grains, net carbs of 9 grams, net carbs of 10 grams. So like y'all said, probably not keto, but not necessarily the worst bread choice that you can make. And Rick, thin slice, I hope you can't see through it. No, actually, you can't. And I can say, honestly, the thin slice of Dave's Killer Bread is a very substantial bread, And so, and the loaves, the regular loaves are actually kind of big. They're like the potato loaf sort of style, they're wider. The thin slices are more like the traditional square sort of, shaped breads. And I feel like the thin slice of the Power Seed is all you really need. Like, it's so substantial that it's a very satisfying piece of bread, and anything more is like too much, if that makes sense. So it's not really that scanty. But like I said, or like you guys said, actually, totally not keto, but 7 net carbs, not so bad. Now, obviously, the graphics that I was showing didn't show the sugar, didn't show the fiber. I was going to show that, but then it was kind of a boring graphic, and it didn't... The screenshot that I took that had that information, it didn't show up very well. It was kind of hard to read, so I made an executive decision not to show that. But that type of information is absolutely findable on the interwebs, and yeah. So if you're thinking, maybe just maybe, I'm in the mood for bread, Dave's Killer Bread, maybe just maybe, might be an option for you. There you have it. And while I was babbling about Dave's Killer Bread, it looks like Vanilla Coke Pepsi came in the house. Hey, Vanilla, how you doing? Good to see you. It looks like, let's see here, huge tornado warning and a storm, and then of course the usual Taylor Swift reasons. Well, I can't do anything about Taylor Swift. Well, I can't really do anything about the storm either, but I do hope that the storm goes around your area and you don't have to run to the basement. And so, let's see here. Rick says thin slice. If it works for you, then thin slice is good, but I wonder if they're cooking the carb book with less than a standard slice. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that, that is what they do. But then again, Rick, as someone who's been a veteran of the diet industry since I was 7 years old, I can tell you right now, that's what light foods are. That's what diet foods do. I mean, they manipulate the serving size and calorie count. You know, they try to make the label look good, basically. So let's see here. And Darlene, right, in a pinch, it's a better option than many other breads. And while I'm not saying that you can get Dave's Killer Bread at your local corner store, I believe Andre was saying it's available in the United States and Canada. So most mainstream grocery stores probably carry it. Now, they don't necessarily carry the whole line, but there's a good chance that you might run into it at your grocery store. And Shock, maltodextrin is your worst enemy. I'm not really sure what maltodextrin is, but I'm going to assume it's some kind of sugar. And, okay, I'll take your word for it. So let's see here. Andre, they've got trackers they put on orcas with cameras so you can see the orca view of the ocean. Interesting. Andre, you once saw something that had honey in its name, but it was all maltodextrin. Of course. Kenny from the Cove, another selling point for the keto diet. Pork rinds are keto. Yes, they are keto. And I don't know if you've got this brand, but there's this brand out of South Dakota called Dots. And Dots has some amazing pretzels, but they also have some pork rinds that they just came out with, or at least that my store just started carrying. And they are super good pork rinds. Kind of seasoned. They're a little on the verge of being too spicy for me. But just because they're too spicy for me doesn't mean that they're going to be too spicy for, like, anyone, because I don't do spice that well. Whereas anybody else who, eats food points and laughs at how much I can't handle spices, so you'd probably be able to handle it. And let's see here. Oh, Picola Tea. A lot of Costco warehouses carry Dave's Killer Bread. Yeah, I'm sure they do, actually. I don't go to Costco, so I completely forgot about that. But yeah, I'd be willing to bet that Dave's is found at Costco. Abso-flippin-lutely. And you can't eat spicy food. It kills you. All right, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, then we can probably order, we can go eat at a Mexican restaurant together because it won't be too spicy. And Anne, you've tried the Dots pretzels, right? Yeah. I don't like the Southwest ones because they're a little too spicy for me, but just the regular ones, they're kind of buttery, kind of salty. They're so flippin' good. They're so flippin' expensive, but they're so flippin' good. And Andre, you've got a lot of pork rinds down there. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised. And they're probably all pretty good. And, Shock, your ex's husband considers ketchup spicy. You ran into her at the Irish Week, and it took us a few minutes to work out how we knew each other already. Awesome, but no, ketchup is not spicy. I mean, spicy ketchup is spicy, and Whataburger has a spicy ketchup. If you go to Texas, Whataburger has a spicy ketchup, and that's a little spicy, but regular ketchup is not spicy. So I guess that person beats me till, yeah, hands down. And let's see here, Kenny, Max salt and pepper pork rinds at Walmart. They're heavenly. I don't know about Max, but 7-Eleven has a brand of pork rinds that has salt and pepper on them, and they're really good too. So yeah, salt and pepper, really good. And hold on, wait, Shock, your friend sent you the microwave pork rinds, and they were super good? You're gonna have to explain that, because my brain goes to two different things. First off, they're pork rinds that you just microwave to make them hot, or are they like something other than a pork rind, and then when you microwave them, they pork rind out? So please explain. And let's see here. Rick throwing down the maltodextrin knowledge. It's a type of carbohydrate synthesized from grain starch, corn, potatoes, or rice, and it's used to add sweetness and texture. Okay, that makes sense. I do believe it's usually in a lot of honey breads, if I remember correctly. And Andre, you once saw a sandwich shop on a show. They use pickles as the bread for sandwich. I like pickles a lot, but I don't know if I would want a sandwich that'd just be too much pickle, too wet, I don't know about that. Let's see here. You like pickled jalapenos straight from the jar? Good for you, Kenny. If we're ever at a restaurant and they give us jalapenos, you can eat all mine. We can sit next to me, and you can eat all my jalapenos. Yep, there we go. And, Pacola T, do we like spicy? Says the gal growing chili peppers in her backyard. Nice. And, pork rinds with spinach and artichoke dip. That sounds good, but honestly, anything with spinach and artichoke dip is kind of good, right? I mean, you could probably eat the plastic spoon with spinach and artichoke dip. Lowries, they're like microwave popcorn, but they're pork rinds. But you cannot over-nuke them or they will be bad. Well, I think that microwave popcorn also suffers from that. So, interesting though. Okay. Shock, your spouse has been unintentionally building up your spice tolerance for years. Nice. I try to up my spice tolerance, but I've found basically that like a lot of the spices that they use in Mexican food just hit my heat register way too soon. Whereas I can eat a lot of Asian food and end up with like my lips being kind of numb from the spice. Cause I can handle whatever the Asian chilies are, I can handle more of those than the Mexican ones. And I know that makes no logical sense because I think it's capsaicin, right? I mean, it's the capsaicin is capsaicin, but apparently not, not in my mouth. And yeah, Shock, the pork rinds puff up in the oven, and they come out really good if you're careful. Yeah, that's what I figured. And yeah, they would be fresher, so I bet it would be good. But I don't have a microwave, so I guess I can't do that. Pacola T, your spouse hasn't been unintentionally. He's just been deliberately punking you into upping your spice tolerance. And Shock, they're hot and they're also numbing peppers. Yeah, I just think that Mexican food doesn't use the numbing peppers as often as I don't know. I think Asian food has a tendency to use the numbing peppers more than Mexican food, in my experience. And I don't cook either, so I really know enough to know I do not know. But I do know that I feel like I've had more spice via Asian food than Mexican food. There we have it. That's how that stands. And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove is saying that pork rinds pairs well with queso or nacho cheese. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Shoot, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if the pork rinds taste good with, that like Frito-Lay bean dip, which is super trashy but really tasty. Probably tastes good with that too. 'Cause pork rinds taste good. Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you've never had pork rinds. Well, they're also sometimes called cracklin, although cracklin actually is a little bit different, but sometimes they're called cracklin. They're also sometimes called chicharrones. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's basically the outer. It's the pork rind. It's the outer layer of the pork with the fat, kinda, and it's fried to such a way that it bubbles up. And I don't. God, it's sort of hard to describe. Gosh, guys, they're pork skins. They're deep, they're roasted pork skins that are eventually render so much of the fat out that they just sort of turn into this, like a pork skin version of a Cheeto texture. It's almost like a Cheeto texture. It's more than just fried. It's a little bit more complicated than just frying it. And it's okay. Chicharrones is how you pronounce it, I guess. But Anne, you've never had them either? Wow, interesting. I might have to. Hold on, guys. I'm taking some notes. I'm gonna I might have to grab some things to do a little pork rind intro for the folks that just don't know what pork rinds are. And Vanilla Coke Pepsi, they just don't sell it near where you live. I find that so hard to believe. I mean, I do and I don't find it hard to believe. But I know that pork rinds are not exclusive to Mexican folk or Filipino folk or whatever. There's gotta be someplace near you must sell them. But then again, I certainly don't know what is offered in your local grocery stores. So still feel like you gotta find them somewhere. Yeah, they have to find them somewhere. Let's see here. And let's see here. Yeah, okay, you live in the middle of nowhere, Canada. Okay, so, but you know that they do sell them in Canada. Okay, but they're not that popular. Fair enough. I will give you that. Let's see here. Darlene is bragging about not a spicy person. Thought I wouldn't like stuffed poblano peppers, but tried them and they were delicious. Yeah, poblanos, I can handle poblanos. I can handle Anaheims. Sometimes I can handle even a hatch, depending upon how hot the hatch is. That being said, hatch peppers really can get to be way too spicy. So, but yeah, the poblanos, the Anaheims, those are ones that I can handle for sure. And let's see here, Michi Mama, you've never tried pork rinds because you know what it is. However, as a kid, you did try chicken intestines at a Filipino family party. So, what did you think of the chicken intestines? I have heard of eating animal intestines. I mean, that's what pork casings are, or not, that's what sausage casings are. But I don't know if I've ever heard of chicken intestines being eaten, which now that I say that, it's like, well, why wouldn't they? But really, they were deep fried and you don't really remember? Okay, well, I don't know. Deep fried, I probably would have tried it too. Even knowing what it is, probably would have tried it because it's deep fried. And let's see here. And tripe. Yeah, and tripe. Right, tripe. Also the intestines. And Michimama, they eat the feet too. Oh, lots of people eat the feet. The feet are kind of gelatinous from what I hear. I've seen so many different videos of people eating chicken feet, like at Chinese food restaurants and stuff. And it's like, they kind of look good. But I really just don't know. I just don't know if I could do it. You know, I mean, I just don't know. They look good, but then I think about what the texture might be. I just don't know. And let's see here. Darlene, I'm growing jalapeno peppers. Do every year for salsa. Have to be careful. Some of these fresh from the garden, spicier. Yeah. Some years can get yourself some good hot good hot peppers, without a doubt. And Kenny from the Cove, sorry, the feet just look like too much work, not enough meat. I don't really think there's meat on the feet, though, is there? I thought it's mostly just like collagen. You know, it's like, honestly, I would love to use some chicken feet in my chicken stock to make it nice and full of collagen, but I just don't know if I could eat. I don't know if I could eat one of those. So let's see here. And Andre, yeah, chicken feet are served at a lot of old school dim sum places. Totally. That's actually probably where I've seen most of the chicken feet being eaten online, is people doing, you know, foodie stuff at a dim sum place. And they really, like, you know, they look like they might be tasty, but I just, in my mouth, don't know if I just don't know. And Cindy Krause, your dad loved pickled pig's feet. Chicken feet are too scrawny. Yeah, chicken feet are very scrawny, and I've definitely... Pickled pig's feet freak me right the heck out. So, and I admit that, and it's really stupid, but it does. And, let's see here. Yeah, Michi Mama, we're letting our knowledge of the animal parts get to us. My grandnephews and niece from Spain will try anything. I never saw them shake their heads at anything. Oh gosh, good for them, Michi Mama. That is so awesome. I wish I was that adventurous. I'm not. I wish I was. And so Vanilla Coke Pepsi is saying that real beaver tails are not something that they eat in Canada, but there's a dessert called beaver tails. Vanilla Coke Pepsi. Dessert. Tell us about this dessert. A beaver tail dessert? I mean, is it like a waffle with something? A waffle with chocolate? Like, tell me about this dessert. Tell me about the beaver tail. And let's see here. Let's see here. Cola Tea Ramen Place on Kapahulu Avenue makes a delicious thick chicken collagen soup stock. They call it their beauty soup. Seriously, yeah, that's I like to, when I make my chicken stock, I boil all the bones, and you know how on the end of the chicken bones there's like cartilage caps, well, until all of the cartilage has been melted into the soup, I keep simmering my broth. Like, I love it when the stock is nice and thick and it coats your lips. It's exactly it. And let's see here. So Kenny, you couldn't eat pickled pig's feet if you pointed a gun at you. I know, they just look, I mean, first off, are they cooked? I mean, like, are they boiled and then pickled? Like, how are they cooked? Because they sure don't look very cooked. That's what I like. And then I just don't, there's so much about a pickled pig feet I don't know or understand or maybe want to know about. They do look hoofy. I mean, are you supposed to eat the hoofies? I just don't know. So let's see here. Michi Mama, everyone including the 10-year-old, loved Loco Moco. He liked to practice his English with me and asked if I knew what Loco Moco meant. Crazy bugga. There you go. Vanilla Coke Pepsi telling us that the beaver tail, it's a weird pastry thing that's shaped like a beaver's tail, and it's topped with different flavors, and you have to Google it to understand, and they taste great. Well, I don't really know what you're talking about, but what you've said sounds good, so yeah, I'm gonna take a note, and I am gonna Google it because it sounds tasty. Sounds tasty. And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove. Hurley Furk, I'm hungry now, but not for pickled pig's feet. Exactly. Yeah, vanilla cookie. I will Google it when I'm done, but right now when I'm here, I'm not going to. And so, oh, there's a whole chain that serves them in Canada. I'm assuming the beaver tail, not the pickled pig's feet. Interesting. Oh, Cindy Krause, you think the American version is the bear claw? Okay. Bear claws are good too, but I don't know. What the way Vanilla Coke Pepsi made it sound, I doesn't sound like it would be that, but okay, and so the chain invented it and sells it, so it's a chain. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, cool. All right, we might have to... All right, so it sounds like next Chatter with Statter, we might be talking about pork rinds and beaver tails versus bear claws. That's right. So, yeah, exactly, Darlene. I'm curious now, too. So we're all going to just be like, suddenly Google noticed this spike in searches for beaver tail desserts at, 6:31 West Coast time on July 20th. For no reason, we couldn't figure it out. Let's see here. So let's see here. It's fried dough pastries, individually hand stretched to resemble beaver tails, and then either topped with sweet or savory ingredients. Yeah, I don't know if that would be I don't know. Yeah, shock, that's what I was just seeing. The beaver tail seems more like a fry bread with stuff on it as opposed to a donut type bear claw. Yeah, for sure. I think, and Cindy Krause, yeah, I think we're going to need pictures for sure. There are 14 different flavors: Oreo, cinnamon, strawberry, cheesecake, etc. Yum. And yeah, exactly. And where, fry bread. Yeah, honestly, I mean, any kind of fried dough is really good. But if it's like anything like fry bread, I don't care what you put on it. You could put cream cheese on it. You could put cheesecake on it. You could put caramel sauce on it. You could put smoked salmon on it. Not caramel sauce with smoked salmon. I'm just saying, all those things sound like they could be good individually on top of some fried bread. Because you can't go wrong with some fried bread. I mean, honestly, just give me the fried bread. Shock, could you put an avocado on it? You could. I couldn't. I wouldn't, but you could. And yeah, exactly. And where fry bread plain. That's super Ono too. Yeah, so let's do that. Totally, dude. That sounds delicious. And, let's see here. Michi Mama is asking, Shock, is the hard drive the same as the motherboard? Well, Michi Mama, that's a great question. And I don't think they are the same, but I also know that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I am equally interested in hearing what Shock has to say. And Vanilla Coke Pepsi, apple pie, beaver tails are your personal favorite? Okay, yeah. I mean, if you sit next to me, you might have to share yours because that sounds good. But yeah, let's do that. And let's see here. Fry bread is so awesome. All you really have to put on it is bite marks. Yeah, there you go, Kenny. Spoken. Yes, exactly. All you got to put on them is bite marks. That is exactly it. All right, guys, it is getting close to the bottom of the hour. So, I want to let you guys know that last Statterbox at the Cinema was a movie that came out in 1986, and it was a dark movie. Not everybody liked it. That's okay. We're going to watch another movie. Whoop, hold on. We're going to watch another movie from 1986. It's called Club Paradise. Kenny from the Cove was so generous to lend us this video. It got lost in my computer about a month ago. And let's see here. And I was afraid to get it, but last night when I took my computer apart, I was able to get it. So we're going to be watching Club Paradise. It's a Robin Williams film. Peter O'Toole is in it. Rick Moranis is in it. Eugene Levy is in it. Twiggy is in it. Jimmy Cliff is in it. I think it's Jimmy Cliff. Yeah, Jimmy Cliff is in it. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of people in it. So Club Paradise, also from 1986. And there you have it. We will be watching that on Statterbox at the Cinema. It's a much more lighthearted film, a much funnier film. I have personally never seen it, but we'll be experiencing it together. And let's see here. It looks like Andre just threw down a whole bunch of biddies. Thank you so much, Andre, for the 800 biddies or something like that. Thank you so much. And let's see here. So Andre is saying, no, the hard drive is not the motherboard. Oh, see, I thought that so yeah, all right, excellent. I actually was right about that. And let's see here. Shock is saying to Michi Mama, nope, the drive is connected by 2 cables and is the size of a DVD drive. Okie doke, that's good to know. And let's see here. If you see something that looks like a giant ribbon, that's the hard drive cable for older systems. Newer ones have 2 cables, but will still have 2 cables on it and usually mounted right where your CD-ROM is. That's good to know. Let's see here. Michi Mama, thank you so much for the 400 biddies. And by the way, Michi Mama, right before you came on the stream today, we were talking about how to get rid of towers, and like I said I was going to talk about it on the stream, and we did. So we were talking about how to get rid of the hard drives on your computers, which is basically the hard drive is what you and I are concerned about, that holds all the info. So if you want to watch like the first 20 minutes or whatever of the show, once we're done, Twitch does the replay right away. And then obviously 24 hours from now, we'll be uploading this to YouTube. So if you are watching this in a rerun format, feel free to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the like button up here on YouTube. And Wares, thank you so much for the 300 biddies. And let's see here. Let's see. Darlene, yes. Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad that the entertainment was good and the learning came with it. So fantastic. And so Picola T, thanks for the killer bread and killer whale knowledge. That's right. It was a killer stream tonight. So, oh my God, you guys, thank you so much, Andre. Thank you so much, Kenny and Ware and Hype Train. Woohoo! So we've got 3 minutes, I guess, that we can hang out for the Hype Train because, well, we are going to be winding it up at the bottom of the hour. But you guys, this was a super fun show, and I'm super excited. Another thing I'm excited for, let me see if I can grab it. Okay, so. Oh my gosh, Anne and Andre, thank you so much. And you're right, we did also talk about how to kill a hard drive. All right, so you guys, I have had a GoPro loaned to me. Whoops, wrong way. A GoPro loaned to me. And yesterday I got a little mounty mount thing. And so now all I need to do is figure out a way to attach a tether to this. And pretty soon we're going to have some holo holos that are not made with the cell phone mounted inside the windshield. It will actually be holo holos on the outside of the vehicle, and hopefully the GoPro 10 is going to be as good as the GoPro 8 that Andy already has and on his stuff. And so I'm very excited to get some new holo holos under the belt soon. And you guys will obviously be the first ones to check it out. And so, yeah, there you have it. I'm super stoked. Again, Andre, 300 biddies. Thank you so flippin' much. Cindy Krause, 100 biddies. My goodness. Yep, there you go. And Shock, I guess if Statter did things the easy way, the show would be less entertaining. Well, okay, there's an element of truth to that, for sure. But it's not that I go about things consciously in the most difficult way possible. It's just that the way I manage to tackle things, you know, manages to be the most difficult way possible. So yeah, there you have it. So there's the easy way, and then there's Mad Statter's way. Yeah, that about sums it up. So on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up. It looks like we have got a hype train almost to the 100% level, which is super sweet. Andre, thanks for that other 200 biddies. And then and where I like to try to do stuff at first and then get advice later. That's exactly it. But you know, part of the reason why is because you can give me all the advice that you want before I tackle it. But if I don't know what you're talking about and I don't have a concept of how to apply that knowledge, then it's not going to stick anyway. So I might as well get elbow deep into a problem and go, oh, I think I just broke it. Where did that get unplugged from? Because if someone had told me beforehand, oh, by the way, make sure you don't unplug this one plug, I wouldn't know what plug they were talking about, and I would still end up doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's just the way my brain works, I guess. And so, Michi Mama, 400 biddies, thank you so much. Andre, again, oh my God, you guys, so awesome. We are 1 minute past it, though, so going to wrap it up. And remember, 6 p.m. West Coast time on Saturday, we are going to watch, oh, there we go, Club Paradise, thanks to Kenny from the Cove. And Kenny from the Cove, thanks for those 200 biddies. Okay, we are going to see each other again on Saturday. Take care, everybody. Have a great one.